Toastmasters and distinguished guests. My name is Shyam Sundar, and I'm your Sergeant at Arms today. A warm welcome to all of you for today's very special and a star-studded meeting of Desert Pioneers Toastmaster Club. This is our 395th meeting and the 18th virtual meeting. Before we start, let me read out the club rules. Please make sure your internet connectivity is good enough. Please turn off your mics when you're not speaking. Please do not speak about sex, religion, and politics during this meeting. I will read out the mission of Toastmasters. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Just one word about the theme. Today's theme is Pathways Journey Dynamic Leadership. Without further delay, I would like to invite our dynamic and visionary president who will take this meeting forward. Please help me welcome President of our club, Toastmasters Sairam Santosh. Big round of applause.
Woo, Sai.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shyam. Am I audible to all of you? Don't be afraid of new beginnings. From new people, new energy, new surroundings, and new challenges. Embrace new chances at happiness. Fellow Toastmasters, dignitaries from area, division, and district, and distinguished guests. Good evening. It's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to all of you to our second meeting of this term and 395th meeting of Desert Pioneers Toastmasters Club, which is ranked 9th out of 16,800 plus Toastmasters Club around the world, and the only club who won the Golden Gavel Award for the year 2019 and 20. I would like to acknowledge the presence of our Program Quality Director, DTM Alifia Lakadwala, and some other Toastmaster guests, Toastmaster Shazir and Toastmaster Hussein, Toastmaster Prandya, and who are the other? Toastmaster Humli. Welcome to all of you. Sorry if I couldn't able to identify other Toastmasters. Toastmaster Varghese from Dreamweavers. Welcome to all of you. Toastmaster is a platform where you can improve your communication and build leadership skills. And Desert Pioneers Toastmasters Club will provide you that opportunity to explore yourself personally and professionally. Now, without any further delay, let's start our meeting. Let me introduce the host of today's meeting. And I would like to mention only one line about this Toastmaster. He is the champ. He is the person who took our District 20 to the 9th position in the world. He is dynamic, energetic, and he is a chartered accountant by profession. And also the Vice President Education for our club for the year 2019 and 20. And he is none other than Toastmaster Anwar Adam. Please give him a big round of applause.
Thank you, Club President Sairam, and good evening, everyone. How are you all doing?
Great.
Perfect. I've been introduced as the Toastmaster of the day. And as most of you all know, the theme for today is
Pathways.
I just heard pathways. Most of you are muted, so I could read your lips. But the host, I would request during my segment to keep the mics, unmuted, because I want to make it as interactive as possible. Well, so first, let me start with my role. Before I start with formally my role, I want to make some important disclaimer. The first disclaimer I want to make is the poster you have been seeing has nothing to do with what I'm going to talk about today. The second most important thing which I want to mention is dynamic leadership. I'm not going to talk about anything about dynamic leadership theoretical. And the third most important factor which I want to put across as a disclaimer is this is not a pathways guide. So all of you, if you have doubts in pathways, I'm not a pathways guide or ambassador. Don't ask questions related to pathways guide. Now the biggest question is, so what are you going to do today? Well, let me just tell you, I just completed my path, dynamic leadership, and I'm reflecting upon my path. Now, if someone among you can unmute yourself, someone who has completed your path, or maybe who is soon going to complete your path, or even who is in a journey, what is the first thing what people ask you when you finish that path?
How did you finish it so fast?
Yeah, how did you do it?
How did you do it? How do you finish it fast? What the questions I got is, how long did it take you to finish? And this is a very important question. And when I was reflecting upon my path, this is exactly what I did. I prepared my timeline, and that's what I want to share today with you. So let's bring my timeline there. That's my timeline. Can you all unmute and read after me? When did I join? Just to ensure you're not.
2018.
September 2018.
Okay, all of you are not colorblind. Good going. Level 1.
August 2019.
Level 2.
September 2019.
3.
Oh, 1 month later.
No.
Oh.
3.
November
Oh.
2019.
5.
February 2020.
And today I'm reflecting upon my path. I can see some people who are struggling. So for you, I made it easy. These are the number of days I took across my journey. Now, all the difficult days, let me put it across like this. This is to be prescribed the number of months I took to complete one path. It's approximately 2 years. Now the question to you all is this right? Was this good? What do you think? Did I do justice to my path by completing by 2 years, or should I have been completed earlier?
It completely depends on how much you have learned from these paths. Doesn't matter.
Thank you, President Sairam. Toastmaster is completely a journey where you decide how you want to go. You could take 10 years, you could take 1 year. But what is most important is you have a goal. And that is the primary thing which I learned and which I want to put forward in front of you today. So what is the most important thing? What you need to have is a plan in place, a goal, and put your timeline there. I'll just walk you through what happened in my level 1. I took 335 days, or you can say about a year to complete my level 1. Now, this to me is really bad. As a new speaker, you should grab more opportunities. Again, it's all up to your pace. But what I'm trying to throw light on you is not to look at the fancy numbers or get confused and lost, but how are you planning it out? When was the last time you gave your speech? When is the last time you gave your level? Now, as we go on, I'm not going to talk to you about what I did in level 1, level 2, level 3. Everybody has their experience, but I will share you some tips and advices which I came across during the journey. Said that, let's get to the show, which is the meeting. Let me introduce the role players for today. The first role player I would like to introduce to you all is the role player Timer. I asked DTM Arij what was her favorite project. For her, it was storytelling. In dynamic leadership, I didn't have this project, but in my new, project path, I intend to do this because I've heard a lot of people inspiring people by their storytelling skills. And talking about Arij, she's completed her IP and she's doing her PI level 3, which she completed in May 2020. Please put your hands together to welcome Arij Jafar.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters Anwar, and good evening, everyone. Hope you all are going to enjoy our meeting today. And because it is very important to start on time and end on time, so we will have a very healthy meeting. Timer role is there, and I am there to serve you. So today, I will be watching the time for each participant in each segment. When you all will reach to the minimum time, you will see the green background. Mid of the time, the yellow background, and the maximum time, it will be the red background. After that, you will have a 30 seconds grace period based on your role for today. Thank you so much. Please pin me whenever you are going to speak. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Arij. So DTM Arij need to be pinned by all of you who intend to take up roles and speak. Moving on to our next important role player. Our next important role player is our R counter. Our R counter for today is the VP Education of the club, Toastmaster Mohammed Shiraz. When I asked him about his favorite project, he said Icebreaker. And this has been the case for most of us. But if you were to ask me if that was my favorite project, it was a memorable project, but not my favorite. I thoroughly enjoyed each and every project I went through. So it's difficult for me to choose one. Toastmaster Mohammed Shiraz, can we hear from you now?
Thank you, Toastmaster Anwar. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished. It's my pleasure today. I'll be the counter for today's meeting. It's my responsibility to note down the asks, us, during the meeting. So end of the meeting, I will give my evaluation report. It is very important to reduce asks, us, because the message should go to the audience in a proper way. So it is preferable to reduce ask, us, Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster Anwar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiraz, who was our counter for today. Moving on to the next role player. The next role player for today is the role of a grammarian. And today, the role has been taken by our immediate past president, the area director, Toastmaster Amrit. Put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Amrit Pukare.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anwar, for that lovely introduction. We believe in pioneers. Every meeting, every single meeting is a learning experience. And we believe that we learn best during moments of enjoyment. So today, we are going a bit off the road. I mean, today's grammarian role will be slightly different. I mean, we are introducing a challenge for all of you, a grammarian challenge. So let me start by sharing the word of the day. The word of the day today is flamboyant. Flamboyant is, of course, a style of architecture, a French Gothic architecture. But here we are not dealing about architecture. Here, flamboyant means tending to attract, attention because of their exuberance, confidence, stylishness, anything which is larger than life. You know, if we put it in a sentence, we can say like the heavy chandelier added flamboyance to the room. Flamboyant event, flamboyant wedding. So I hope all of you understood the word or the meaning. How can we use that word in sentence? Now let me introduce you to the challenge, the grammarian's challenge. So the rules are as such. There are, I mean, the person who wins the most number of awards or points wins the game. Now, how do you win points? It's written here. The appropriate usage of the word of the day. It's not just using the word of the day. The appropriate usage of the word of the day gets you 1 point. And if you use any of this, anaphoras, release, all these will get you 2 points. So let me quickly run you through all these things. Anaphora is a repetition of a word or words across 2 or more successive phrases. You can see an example there. There is a time for thinking, time for speaking, time for action. So we use this thrice, right? So that's called an anaphora. Now, what is alliteration? Using words starting with the same letter or sound together in a group. It's almost like rhyming. Totally tropical taste. What is simile or metaphor? Simile is saying one thing is like this. I was like a kid in a sweet shop. That's a simile. Now, what is a metaphor? It's literally is. Public speaking was my Mount Everest. So Mount Everest is a metaphor there. Now, hyperbole, deliberate exaggeration for emphasis or humorous effect. There must have been 1 million people in front of me in the queue. Of course, there is not 1 million people, but it's just an exaggeration. Now that is hyperbole. Idioms and phrases, I think almost all of you know. Idioms are a collection of words or phrases which have a figurative meaning. Insult to injury, that means like, okay, one thing is bad, but you're making it worse. Now the last thing being the alternative usages for the word very. So I'll post a PDF with options of words which you can use probably in during your speech. Now let me quickly show you how we will calculate. So this is how it is. Whenever you say the word of the day, I'll be keeping a note of that. Our beloved guest Shakila have already mentioned that, so we have taken it to account, as you can see there. So all the best to everyone. Looking forward to the beautiful challenge. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amrit, the grammarian for today. And I should tell that being a desert pioneer brings flamboyant to your personalities. Hope that's the right usage. Moving on to the next and the final role player for the initial segment at least, which is none other than a very important person who's been checking about the meeting quality, which is the general evaluator for today, Toastmaster Farisa Hassan. She is the current club president of Sims Toastmaster Club. Her favorite project was HPL project, which she recently did, the beautiful workshop which we all witnessed. We welcome you, Toastmaster Farisa Hassan. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anwar, for the amazing introduction. Good evening, everyone, all the Toastmasters and lovely guests. Here at DPTM, we don't lift weights, we lift each other. I'll be a general evaluator for today, and one of the main reasons we have evaluation portions in our meeting is to lift our members so that they come back and speak again and again. So today I'll be dividing my evaluation portion into 3 parts. First, the evaluators will be presenting their evaluations for the prepared speeches. And then we'll have the grammarian and the R-counter report. And at the end, I will give you an overall evaluation of the meeting. And looking forward to have a great meeting, as DPTM has the reputation of being able to conduct flamboyant meetings. So over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. You being in a club have made a club flamboyant. Moving on, let me share a bit of my advice to all the new Toastmasters. We have a lot of new Toastmasters, and I see a lot of guests who I believe are reasonably new to Toastmasters. Completing my path, this has been the top 3 advice which I would like to give to the members. The first one, wait, before that, do you all see the chart which is here with the numbers? Do I get any response? Do you see that? Well, that has nothing to do with what I'm going to talk. It is just there as a reminder for me so that I know how long I took to finish my path. Well, moving on to the content, my advice to a new Toastmaster, the first one is have a goal. Plan your journey and monitor your progress. It's all in one line because each one of this is equally important. If you don't have a goal, you can't make a plan around it. And if you don't have a plan for your goal, and if you don't monitor your progress, then this is something which you end up doing your level 1, taking an year. Moving on to the next tip, which I want to give to all the new Toastmasters, have a mentor. Plan your meets with your mentor and monitor your progress. Now, having a mentor in the initial days, most of you who have known me personally, I was literally against having a mentor. I said, I don't believe in this mentor unless I realized the real importance. By the time an year had passed, and that's why, I literally, lost 1 year in my level 1. So it's very important you have a mentor right from the beginning who can guide you, who can help you to develop. The very important thing I want to add on is plan your meet with your mentor. It's not your mentor who's in need, it's you who's in need. So once you assign your mentor, pester them, go behind them, and it's their duty once you're a mentor to help you out. And again, monitor your progress with your mentor, how often you're meeting, how is the feedback. So give your mentor feedbacks, and that will help you to move on. My final advice for you all is, if you don't have no goal, no plan, no mentor, which means you're not making any progress. There is no growth for you. There is only growth for TI, because you will be ending up paying your fees. With this, I will take a break and we will move on to the most important or awaited segment for today, which is none other than what we all wait to get inspired and get new learnings, which is our prepared speeches. We have 3 speakers for today. We will start with the first speaker. First speaker for today is Toastmaster Hari Prasad. Now, unlike all the role players, he told me the most, memorable time for him was he taking the role as a TM Modi, and where he played the beautiful riddle game where we all enjoyed. So he don't cherish any of his speeches, but he cherishes the role as a TM Modi, which is of course a beautiful learning. Today, Toastmaster Hari Prasad is doing his level 3, project number 1. And before we hand it over to him, please help me invite his evaluator for today, which is Toastmaster June. Toastmaster June, a budding, Desert Pioneer Toastmaster who recently did her storytelling speech, and she mesmerized with her speech. And today she's taken the role of an evaluator to evaluate Toastmaster Hari. Toastmaster June, can you please read the objectives for Toastmaster Hari?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Today, Toastmaster Hari will be doing his Innovative Planning Level 3 Project 1, Deliver Social Speeches, the second speech. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice delivering social speeches in front of club members. Toastmaster Hari, all the best to you.
Timer, can you please inform the timing for Toastmaster Hari? Harish, we are not able to hear you. Toast, can you inform if there is any technical issues?
There's no issue with the side. Harry, is everything okay? This is your moderator. Harry, we can hear you loud and clear.
Can I start?
Yes, Toastmaster Hari. Toastmaster Hari, the award. The award, Toastmaster Hari Prasad.
What is the member recognition? Why a member or a team should to win an award? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and would-be awardees. Awards do not only acknowledge success, they recognize many other qualities, such as ability, struggle, efforts, and more. Awards to build confidence, to build a positive learning environment, and to increase team and individual motivation. Awards can also encourage people to do better. Awards increases credibility, free PR and marketing. Almost 1 month back, DTM Wafa Salman announced greatly the award Golden Gavel 2019-20 goes to DPTM. We, DPTM, achieved the Golden Gavel, one of the most prestigious awards in DPTM club history. It is not a 1 day or 1 week, 1 month effort. It is more than years and hundreds of Toastmasters of DPTM achievement. They built a strong foundation to us to guard this award. I am so simple, but I am also part of this award. What do you think? The journey of Golden Gavel, we had accomplished many things. First one is Hall of Fame Award. In this one, there are different milestones are there. First one is President Distinguished Club, the highest level of recognition of. So achieved at least 9 out of the 10 goals. Actually, we achieved 10 goals. 25 paid members by 12 April 2020. We got more members. Won 2 out of 3 TA membership building programs. They are Smedley Award, Talk of Toastmasters, Beat the Club. 2 Triple Crown Awards. We have more than 2 Triple Crown Awards. At least 5 members trained as judges. We have more. At least 5 ExCom members, 5 ExCom officers trained. We got more. Submit articles. Only 1. We have more than 5. Conduct moments of truth. At least 1 member registered as sponsor, mentor, or coach. The club sponsored a new club. So we DPTM sponsored a new club, that is Dream Viewers. The main reasons for this one is, what the main persons of this one is DTM Alan, DTM Rajesh, our area director Amrut, and the past president of Dream Viewers is Sebastian. Conducting the joint meetings to other clubs Oh, already we got this one. So this, we achieve all these things with support of all members. Golden Gavel Award winner 2020 goes to Desert Pioneers. A famous quote by Michael Jordan, basketball player. Quote, talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. It is 100% true in DPTM. I wish to all our team members to succeed our personal growth and also fulfill the path of DPTM with more awards. Thank you. Over to TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hari Prasad. You actually took me back to my speech where I delivered of receiving an award and also presenting an award. If you all recall, I did present the award to Toastmaster Alina. Well, now we'll take 1 minute to give valuable feedbacks to Hari Prasad. I request everyone to use the chat to send out their feedback. Yes, Arij, you are audible. Please notify me once 1 minute is done, Arij. Host, can you please confirm if our second speaker is in the room?
Suraya is in the room.
Can you please check if Shazia is here? Or please get in touch with her, please.
We'll get in touch with Shazia. Until then, Suraya is here.
Time's up, Toastmaster Anwar.
Thank you, timer. We are making a small change. That is, since the speaker number 2 is not here in the room yet, we will move on with the speaker number 3. Please put your hands together to invite speaker number 3, Toastmaster Suraya Fatima. One of our favorite project has been the panel discussion. And I do agree, panel discussion is one of the best projects which we need to do. And I did face some obstacles, which I will share my experience later on. And today, to evaluate Toastmaster Suraya for her project, which she will be embarking as part of a level 4 project number 1, we have Toastmaster Sana Yusuf. Toastmaster Sana, can you please read the objective for Toastmaster Suraya, please?
Yes, Toastmaster Anwar. Good evening, everyone. Toastmaster Suraya is embarking on her level 4 project 1. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn about and practice facilitating a question and answer session. The purpose of this speech is for the member to practice delivering an informative speech and running a well-organized question and answer session. The member is responsible for managing time, so there is adequate opportunity for both. Over to you, Toastmaster Anwar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sana. Timer, can we please inform the timing for Suraya, please?
5 to 7. Yes. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
no, 1 second. The time for our second speaker is from 5 to 7 minutes. I was just checking with you, Anwar, to confirm. Anyway, so when you reach to the minimum time, which is 5 minutes, you will see the green background.
Actually, Arij, sorry, the project is level 4 project 1, so it says 15 to 20 minutes.
15 to 20?
Yes.
This is what I was checking because the evaluator did not mention the time anyway. So 15 to 20 minutes, it will be, but at the 15 minutes, you will see the green background. At 17 and a half, you will see the yellow background. At 20 minutes, you will see the red background. And after that, you will have a 30 seconds grace period to wrap up your speech. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, timer. So Suraya is all ready. Toastmaster Suraya Fatima, the creativity code. The creativity code, Toastmaster Suraya Fatima.
As a child, I was fascinated by the heroes that flew across my TV screen in an attempt to save the world from fantastical creatures that weren't so kind. You know, I would eat dinner as fast as I could after finishing my homework, of course. And I would go sit in front of the television and watch my favorite stories play right before my eyes. I loved it so much that I began dreaming about being in those bigger than life stories while the day drawled on. Whenever I could play or write or act, I would carry that same energy of creating a story that was larger than the room I was in, larger than my own 7-year-old small little body could ever handle if it was a reality. But that didn't matter to me. It never did. Let me just, don't worry, technical glitches happen all the time. There we go. Welcome everyone to the Creativity Code. Good evening everyone to this rather flamboyant session. All right, I think something is happening. Okay. Is everything good? Can you all see my little presentation? Okay, that's great. Welcome to this Creativity Code session. I have a question for you all. Please don't unmute yourself. I'll be answering this. Even though this is a Q&A session, you can unmute yourself at the very end. So don't worry about that. First of all, what is creativity according to Miss Google? Creativity is the use of imagination or original ideas to create something, aka to invent something. Now, did you think of the arts as soon as you heard the word creativity? Moderator, can we have the poll up? Is the poll up? No poll? Oh, there we go. Just answer as quick as you can. All right. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to end it here. So, 59 and 47. Great. Because that's not really true. Here's the thing. I have done arts since I was a little kid. So has my dad. He is 60. He's currently a senior scientist, whereas I'm doing a bachelor's of science in psychology. If that doesn't prove creativity is only for the arts, I don't know what will. Obviously, you're here for the creativity code. What is this? Well, it's a code that us creatives follow by. And I've decided to compile it all into this neat little package. And we begin with the body. Here's the thing. The body is the soil. It needs to be taken care of for your creativity to be cultivated. Hang on a second. All right, I have no clue what's happening. Okay. The code. We start with S for sleep. Well, what is it? S for sleep. We all know it's completely and very important. Well, here's the thing, some shocking things. If you don't sleep as much as you should be, I have to let you know that you need 7 to 9 hours of continuous sleep, not short bursts. And it's obvious from that number that we're not getting enough sleep. And the thing is, sleep deprivation causes impairment of important cognitive abilities. That's basically fancy language for your memory, your cognitive abilities, your reaction time, stuff like that, that is extremely important. The next code, A for activity. Well, it's obvious we as humans have legs, we have arms, we crave fat a lot, and this is because we used to use up all that energy. And now we don't, because as you can see, we're just sitting down a lot. We're not out there hunting for food. Humans aren't built to sit around all day. Physical activity is necessary for optimal functioning. And because we've become so relaxed, so laid back, that we've practically become one with our own couches and chairs, you need to move around. Why? Just a little bit of activity. I'm telling you, it can drastically reduce the risk of different conditions and diseases. And I'm going to nerd out for a little bit. Here is a little complicated chart. As you can see, just a little bit of activity can drastically reduce complications later in life. And it can also make you less tired and less sleepy when you need to be creating things. Then we have N for nutrition. Your nutrition is very, very important. Hopefully we don't neglect it, but knowing that we're in Kuwait, fast food is practically on every single block. So what do we do about this? And why is it so important? Don't take your nutrition lightly. I'll have to break this for you. Different people require different diets, and your food drastically affects you. I, for one, can't have too much rice, which is almost blasphemy because I'm Indian. We always have rice. But my health is different. So is yours. And of course, food affects your mood to a large degree. A lot of disorders, depression and anxiety, are oftentimes linked to food. So good, healthy diet makes for a good mind. Last, of course, for the first code is stress. As you can see, this little person here is just blasting his head off because of stress. Now, stress can be good, but is neither inherently good nor bad. A little bit of stress has advantages because cortisol in small doses improves performance. But too much can really damage your brain and impair your cognitive functioning. So don't get stressed. But of course, speaking about the brain, how do we get that ready? Well, first of all, your brain is your greatest tool. You need to sharpen it to use it effectively. And that's why I'm going to mention brain plasticity. There's no such thing as a left brain or right brain. No one is inherently creative than others. I'm sorry, I have to break that myth. But brain plasticity means that you is basically part of this code. Ready, game, repeat. Now, what do I mean by get ready? I have to make you a little uncomfortable. I'm very sorry, but I'm going to have to make you uncomfortable.
when you're getting ready for something, you need to change your mindset that you can't be creative, that you can't do creative things. It's just not helpful. It's pessimistic. And here's the thing, if you're feeling pessimistic, it's okay. We all go through it. So instead of continuously thinking about it, make a list. Making a list is going to get uncomfortable. Look at that list. Ask yourself, why does this make me uncomfortable? You'll figure out so many things you wouldn't have figured out prior. Now, once you're done, gather all your ammo, aka all your uncomfortableness, and get ready to game. This is the action part. When I say game, I mean use your attention, your focus to do different creative tasks. I highly recommend Thinker Toys by Michael Michalko, sorry. He has many, many different creative exercises that you can try out. But of course, there's other stuff like learning to read and watch actively. Basically, pop up a movie and analyze that movie and make it fun. You don't have to make it boring. Also, playtime is important for both kids and adults. If you've seen the video game speech that I've done quite a while back, I spoke about this. But basically, video games and playing really enhances your brain. Take advantage of it. Try new things. The more out of your comfort zone you are, like I am, the better. Now repeat that. Practice makes perfection, but repetition makes the brain work. And it needs to work if the brain plasticity has to come in. Once it starts working, you will gain confidence through every repetition. Now we have the third and last code, the system. What system? Your work system, of course. I'm going to mention a good system, but obviously no system is the best. For the code, Maple, first M is multitasking in slow motion. Very odd. I'll explain. It's not exactly like that person, but just wait. Multitasking in slow motion. Now, Tim Harford did a TED talk on this called A Powerful Way to Unleash Your Natural Creativity. But I was shocked to know that general people don't know this, because I've been doing this ever since I was in high school and I did theater. What it is, obviously, is basically you have different tasks, 2 to 3 tasks that are similar in magnitude. Okay, they're similar in magnitude, and you jump across them, but in slow motion, not all at once. You're just going to make your head explode. We don't need that stress, like I said in the previous code. You might be thinking, why on earth does it work? Because you hear the myth that multitasking doesn't work, that humans cannot multitask. But this is in slow motion. And the thing is, when you change things up, it can actually boost your creativity. If you learn to do one thing well, it can really help you with another. And obviously, the easiest way to get unstuck is by working on something else. Now, here's the thing. As you can see, you may have had these questions. Does it work? Yes. The evidence is that it's ubiquitous among creatives, but I haven't added one thing there, is that I use it for years now, and so does my dad. When I was working on this speech, I was stuck and I decided to write instead. When I was stuck on that, I decided to do some art, and I made a little portrait. Actually, it's very cute. But while I was going through all that, I had ideas for the other task while I was doing that task. And it really helps boost creativity and also productivity. Can't leave that out. Now we have A, which is attention and asking. It is important to pay attention not just to what you do, but also what you think in the process. What this means is that you should be trying to write down the thoughts that come to your head whenever you're doing a certain tasks, whether that is a question or your general feelings, it doesn't matter. But of course, speaking about questions, you probably aren't an expert in your current field. Neither am I, neither is my dad, even though he's a senior scientist. But the key is ask the right questions, no matter how dumb they sound. Because according to Tina Seelig, the question you ask is the frame into which your answers will fall. So keep that in mind. Next, we have the Pomodoro technique. I cannot see any of you, but I'm hoping some of you know what this is. First of all, humans can't really focus for long stretches of time. So what do you do about that? Well, you break up that time, that focus time, to make work efficient. There's two ways to do this to not let yourself get burnt out. There's 25 minutes of focused work and then 5 minutes for a break, or 45 minutes for focused work and 15 minutes for a break. It says there, yes, it does work and schools have begun to implement this, but my own school that got quite high grades actually did implement this. All our class times were 45 minutes long. And sometimes when they increased the time to 55 minutes, the teachers would not let us work in the last 10 minutes. And we had 5 minutes before each class, which is great. Maple limits losses and learning, the L. Limits. Push up against your limits and see how far you can go. The reason why is that if you do happen to fail, if you do happen to lose, they are successful attempts. And because you pushed up against that limit and you've come back down, you have this much to learn. And when you begin learning them, obviously you'll have to go to other places to learn. You know what you have to learn. You know how far you went to and then went back down. And you also know what you have to learn. Because here's the thing, when you dive headfirst into something new and there's like an ocean of knowledge, it would be nice to know what exactly you're lacking in to get a head start. Last, of course, is E, experience. See, here's the thing. We are in a world that loves productivity. We love just having so much to our name that we forget that humans don't do well when they're hyper-focused on one kind of experience. So you have to dip your feet into multiple metaphorical buckets of experiences. Because when you do, you get different outlooks on life. And they all enrich what you view and what you do in the task you're currently doing. For me, I am a psychology student and I do science, but I'm also someone who loves arts. These are two drastically different fields. But if I didn't do this, if I didn't have drastically different experiences to dip my feet into, I probably wouldn't have the same outlook I do and have the same drive for creativity and creating things that I do. Because experiences are one of the best triggers for creativity. That's it. That's the code. You have your body, your brain, and your system. And if you can, just take a screenshot and I will be opening the floor for questions very soon after this little quote, which I really do resonate with. Don't see yourself as a puzzle builder. Oh my. See yourself as a quilt builder. Thank you, and I shall open the floor for questions. Any questions? You can unmute yourself, by the way. And if anyone has a doubt, I've been writing since I was 7, and I've been in the arts, performing arts, since I was 4. So I've pursued both of them in the educational standpoint as well. So if anyone has any questions, do let me know. I think no one has any questions.
Surya,
Yeah.
I have
Hello,
a
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Hussein,
Okay,
please
so
proceed.
yeah.
No. Alan Paul, please ask first.
Please go ahead, Hussein. Floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Uh,
I
Hussein,
have
you
less than
muted?
15 seconds.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll answer Hussein's question. If I don't know what
Hussein, you're on
happened.
mute. Please unmute yourself.
oh, sorry. I thought it was unmuted. So do you believe that professional athletes are much more creative than the normal person because they take their sleep and nutrition seriously alongside their activity and also lowering their stress?
Well, here's the thing. You don't need to get as active as an athlete. That's not necessary. Most studies show that you don't have to run every single day for 15 kilometers. Just a little bit of activity, maybe walking around, going up and down the stairs, having a little bit of blood rushing through your veins will be enough to clear your head and make you more creative. Also, I think time is up, unfortunately.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Thank
It's
you.
okay.
Can we have more questions or is it done?
Yeah,
Time
the
is up.
time.
Oh.
So sad. Thank you
Thank you.
all, and over to you, Anwar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suraya. The creativity code. I request all the guests to stay back. We will take the questions probably after the meeting. So the floor will be officially open after we close the meeting. Perfect. Moving on to our next speaker. Now talking about the speaker, she's completed her project, her level, and she's also doing her reflect on path. And please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Shazia. Her favorite project was the HPL project, which we all remember, where she had stuffed her car with all the plastic bottles. And to evaluate her today for her project, which is the Reflect on Path, we have someone who's also completed the pathways last month. Please help me invite Toastmaster Freddy. Toastmaster Freddy, evaluator for Toastmaster Shazia, can you please read the objectives?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Tonight, Toastmaster Shazia Tabazum will be presenting her Level 5 Project 3 and this presentation master. The purpose is for the member to reflect on her growth during the completion of the entire path and to share some aspect of her growth during the completion of the path. Ladies and gentlemen, back to you. Sorry, still I have some. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Freddy. Shazia, please note your timing will be, Arish, please note her timing would be 15 to 20 minutes.
No, it's 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 to 12 minutes.
Sorry, 10 to 12 minutes.
10 to 12 minutes.
Okay, so for the third speaker, can you hear me?
Yeah.
For the third speaker, the time is 10 to 12 minutes, right? So
Yes.
at 10 minutes, I will show you the green card. To 12, so it's 11 and a half minutes. I will show you the yellow background, and 12 minutes, the red background. And after that, 30 seconds grace period, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, timer. Toastmaster Shazia, are you ready?
Yes.
Toastmaster Shazia untapped. Untapped Toastmaster Shazia.
Thank you, TMOD Anwar and TM Alan. My today's speech is a reflection on my journey with Toastmasters. a journey that was very close to my heart. Over the years of my life, even during my career, during my personal life also, always in all steps of my life, I have had noises inside my head that kept telling me, you could say that better. You had a better idea to put on the table, or you could argue better, or you could even stop that fight in a better way, be it your friends or colleagues. But I didn't find the voice to say that. I was shy, I had stage fright, and always suffering with imposter syndrome. Now, everything turned around the moment I entered into the Toastmasters world. This was totally different from what I was seeing outside. This world gave me a chance to speak my mind out, and better yet, the bonus was they gave a mentor. My mentor had been DTM Allen, and a mentor who could correct us in every opportunity, to correct us in every step. The bonus was every time I speak, it gave an opportunity to improve myself. Every speech brought me closer to becoming a better speaker. It helped me overcome my shyness, stage fright, accepted the valuable criticism from our Toastmasters fraternity, all my DPTM members. I took this opportunity to dive into a new subject every time. Now it was not just about writing a speech and telling it. Every time I was supposed to give a speech, it was my favorite subject that I wanted to read about and find out about, and then I would go and speak about it to the audience. Firstly, it would help me in my writing skills, it improved my communication skills, and I was learning a lot about the subject that I wanted to look into. For example, my motivational speech was about walking. That's because I was reading about walking to help myself into it. There was a speech on a research subject which I did on skincare because I was reading it about myself. I was reading about imposter syndrome because I felt I had it. The syndrome where you have a stage fright and you're always afraid to tell your ideas to the audience. I was reading about it and I enlightened the audience, and that day people told me that it was as if you were talking about us. Because everybody, it seemed, was going through it at some time. I was not the only one. So the topics made me write into it. It improved my writing skills to a lot. I mean, I could not believe that I was so good in writing. The day whenever I had to prepare for a speech, I would take my paper and pen, and the ideas would just flow on writing. I was such a good writer. I mean, I accepted the positive comments from my team members at Toastmasters, like good posture. I need to work on the posture. I need to improve the voice modulation, the stage movement, the pace at the stage movement. All these things I never knew were important in giving a speech. No wonder I was always shy. And look how much it has improved me. My favorite projects, I love doing them as well as they have improved me in my real life. For example, the project of active listening. Active listening, where I was supposed to listen to an audience, understand what they were trying to say, and comment back with a valuable input. This helped me in my personal life. It seems my family told me that now I've become a better listener. I'm listening to my husband better. I'm listening to my kids better, what they demand, before actually judging or getting into an argument. See how much growth I got in my personal life also. Another beautiful project was handling the difficult audience. I enjoyed doing this project. How to calmly, friendly handle a difficult audience without being rude and communicating your part, listening to them at the same time, keeping them calm. It was a beautiful project. And my favorite project, as even our TMOD Anwar said, my favorite project was the HPL that I had to do, High Performance Leadership Project. I never knew that Toastmaster had such a thing to that a person can deliver. It really enlightened me so much. I always wanted to do something to help the society. I started it already with my family, with my kids, because that's the only people that I can throw my weight around with. So, or the people who would listen to me, and I was not afraid of telling them. So I started the recycling project at home. But when HPL project was supposed to be given, I proposed the idea that I want to do it with the bigger audience. So I proposed the idea, and our president, TM Amrit, he supported me so much on this project, and everybody, Alan, Alina, they supported so much on this project, Shiraz. And I got to do it with the bigger audience. And it gave me the confidence. It helped me in my communication skill, leadership skills, my confidence. At the same time, I could learn a lot of things. Like I learned a lot of software like Canva and several things that helped me. I learned how to communicate with the outside party who could help in the recycle project, who could pick up the stuff from us as well as deliver. Not only our DPTM members joined into the project, but there were people outside, like my family, like my building families joined into it. My friend circle, even outside Salmia, they were coming till here and giving us their books and plastic. I really came out of the shell doing this project. So it boosted my, all in all, I would say that Toastmasters journey, my presentation mastery path, untapped my resources. It helped me untap the hidden talents inside me. And I'm such a confident person at the end of this path, thanks to my mentor and thanks to DPTM team and all Toastmasters. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shazia. You really showed that, you really reflected upon your path and you spoke out with emotions. And one thing I felt today when I am also reflecting upon my path, we did different paths, but the learnings and the basics, it's all the same in all the paths. So it's been a wonderful journey. And to all those members who are still, in your journey, plan your journey and finish your path, because even when you would soon have a story to share. We will take a minute to give feedbacks to Shazia. All those who have missed to give your feedback to Soraya, please do so. And can I request the host if we are going to, okay. Timer, can you please confirm if all the members, all the speakers have qualified? We'll have the detailed report later. If all the speakers are qualified, can you please confirm?
Toastmasters Anwar. Unfortunately, we have only 2 speakers who's qualified, which is Toastmasters Hari and Toastmasters Suraya. Toastmaster Shazia, she took 7 minutes, 20 seconds only. So she was out of time.
Sorry to hear that. So we had the timers report. Can I please ask the host to launch the poll to vote for the best speaker?
Yes. 1 minute is up for the feedback.
We'll be closing the poll in another 10 seconds.
Toastmaster of the day, there is a correction in the polls. We would need to relaunch the poll again.
Please do so.
Okay, so the speakers are Suraya and Shazia. Is that correct?
No, it's not correct. It's Hari and Suraya.
Okay, then it's correct. Then it's correct. Okay.
Yeah. That's correct. We don't need to relaunch it.
Thank you. It is done.
Thank you, moderator. With this, we have come to the conclusion of the first segment. And before we move to the second segment, I would definitely want to share something with you, which is this. Again, I'm going to say the tips. The slide or the details on the top has nothing to do with the content. It's just a reminder that that's the timeline which I took. So starting your first step. So I want to share some tips for all those who are starting your first step or in your first step. The first and foremost important thing, what you all need to do is don't rush, choose your path wisely, and don't take forever to choose a path. Now, why it is you need not rush? Because there are members who choose a path and later they regret they started with a wrong path. There's nothing called a wrong path. In Toastmaster, we have 11 beautiful paths, but I would say the first path should be something which is really interesting or valuable to you so that you have the vigor to go on. So the key thing is don't rush, choose your path wisely, and don't take things forever. Second thing, activate your path, read your manual, and then attempt. During my journey, I've come across times when I have seen members who come without reading the objective and so on, and then they are not really taking the credit. So I feel very proud that all my paths, when I did, I really attempted the project. I activated my path, read the manual, gave the feedback, and then attempt. My last tip is start and then go for your icebreaker and then do whatever you need in between. There is no restriction on which levels you need to do. One very good example is Toastmaster Suraya. She's completed her level 2 and today she did the project on level 4. So there is nothing stopping you to do anything in between. And if you really observed, if you see the level 5, I took only 14 days. So it's not that I completed my level 5, I literally did all my projects in 14 days. It's because I did few projects while I was doing level 3 and level 4. So this is absolutely possible. And this was one of the flexibility which helped me to keep doing my paths. And I enjoyed the journey because at times when you get stuck with a path, you need to, take that jump. Otherwise you get there stuck for longer. So these are my tips. Now we will move on to the next segment, which is the most awaited segment for today, which is the table topics. For the table topic segment, we have someone who is relatively new to Toastmasters. He's joined Toastmasters on March 2020, but the experience and the number of meetings he's attended, he's truly seems he's already seasoned. Please put your hands together to help me welcome the table topic master for today, Toastmaster Shyam Sundar. Over to you, Shyam.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anwar, for the kind introduction. It was indeed a flamboyant introduction for me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. My name is Shyam Sundar, and I'm your table topics master today. Today's table topics, I'm doing it as a part of my project, Dynamic Leadership Pathway, Level 3, Active Listening Skills. So at the end of this speech, I'll be making a short statement. Before we begin, I will tell you the rules. All of you, including the guests, are welcome to speak on the topic. All you have to do is raise your hand, pick up the topic, and speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Before we begin, I would request our timer, DTM Arish, to explain the timing rules.
Good evening, everyone. Because I want to flamboyant to the speakers. So I will, no, okay, thank you, Amrit. So I will be showing to you the colors as following. When you reach the mid time, which is 1 to 2 minutes, your time is 1 to 2 minutes. When you reach the minimum time, which is 1 minute, you will see the green background. 1.5 minutes, the yellow background. 2 minutes, the red background. And after that, you will have 30 seconds grace period. Screen is yours, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harish. We get to start. Let me share my screen. There you go. Here we have table topics. You have 6 pictures. Each picture, it talks about something, and they're all connected. At the end of the table topics, you'll realize what is the connection it is. Now, who would like to participate in this table topics?
I would like to participate. If you could hear me.
Oh, yes. Would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Hussein Ashur. I'm a guest. I believe this is my second time joining an online Toastmaster session. Today, I'm actually planning to choose a table topic, but this is the first time I actually do this. So please bear with me if I commit any mistakes.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Hussein. So you have 6 pictures in front of you.
Yeah.
Which picture do you like?
The one down on the right, the one with the stairs and the trophy.
Oh, this one. So can you guess what is the meaning of this picture?
I guess it's about like how success is actually a process, and you have to set small incremental goals in order to reach a larger goal.
That's great. Let us see. So the topic is my success story of reaching to Kuwait. So my success story of reaching to Kuwait. Mr. Hussein, the stage is yours.
Okay. Hello and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Hussein Ashur, and today I'm actually going to be talking about my success story of reaching to Kuwait. When I actually came to reaching to Kuwait, basically, I was born on the 24th of April over here. And also I was born and I actually had to work more and add some incremental goals in order to reach my story. So basically, when I hit the age of 18, I also had to go to the DMV so that I could also get my driver's license. And also I had to go and take a picture in order for my own passport and also for my own identification as a Kuwaiti citizen. And I believe that was all of my success story of reaching to Kuwait. And that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hussein. So you spoke about your goals, dreams in your life, and finally you're able to reach your goals. That's really incredible. That's
I know,
a success story. Thank you so much.
I apologize. That was not really the best. It's like my first time doing this.
Fine. Let's go to our second speaker. Who would like to participate, please?
Shakila Banu.
I would like to.
Oh, yes.
We have Pradinya.
Good evening, Pradinya.
Good evening.
Oh, yes. Are you ready
Yeah.
to pick up the topic and speak?
Yeah.
Okay. So which topic, which picture you would like to choose?
The top third one.
A gentleman with mic?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you please guess what is this picture talking about?
I think so. He wants to announce something, or he's a leader of something, like he wants to give some message
Great.
to the audience, whoever is there.
That's great. So the topic is my communication with my colleagues. My communication with my colleagues. Stage is
Thank you,
yours.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Good evening, everyone. My topic is my communication with my colleagues. I know everyone have their colleagues very close. Some are very close, some are not so close. So communication with the colleagues is like very important, as it creates a social networking in your office, whatever field you are. So that is I feel that is very important. And once the colleagues are very close, you can talk with them, you can discuss with them. As I am a teacher, I like talking to my colleagues, discuss with them what are the things we can do for the children, which helps them in their education, which guides them, which they can come and communicate with the teachers, feel them to make them feel better. So these are the things I like to communicate with my colleagues. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Sorry, over to you, Table Topics.
Thank you, Toastmaster.
We have Tila Banu, who has been raising her hand, please.
Hello, sir.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. Would you please choose one topic, one picture over here, so that you can speak on this topic?
Okay, for the first one.
Oh, first one. Can you please guess what's happening with this picture?
I hope it's a picture of icebreaker.
Oh, yes.
It seems to me like that.
So the topic is the fun part of my icebreaker speech preparation.
Okay, fine. So
Please
let
go ahead.
me go with my screen off. Maybe sometimes I'll have that internet fluctuation. It's okay from your side?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Privileged here to be in this Desert Pioneers. Though you made me positively ponder about the post which you have put there. Me being the first crawling tiny tot into the Toastmasters Club. I thought it is a fun, as many of them like to talk. Sometimes variety is the spice of life, I think, right? Though we talk to many of our colleagues, friends, school teachers, parents, but still talking in a platform like Toastmaster, I could tell it's like facing what great people, because in Table Topic Master, as you know, it's an impromptu speech. We don't have any type of red tape works to be done earlier. So just, it was my friends who let me join. Then I go, like you people invite wholeheartedly any new guest comer and then make them speak. I also, I go, I join, I learned something out of that. So if you ask the time I spent here in visiting, particularly during this digital platforms, if I could really calculate the time which I spent here will be more like that of costing $1 million maybe, but still it's worth when I try to gain from you people. So icebreaker, I was like pushed by my colleagues, just join like a fun. And then I was invited with Ishan, our role, I will call it as a mentor. Then I could see people like Mrs. Hannah and very new people. means I was just like a small bird in the storms, looking just my eyes ahead, going with to see a very wonderful speech coming over. So I would tell it's just a journey of 1,000 miles, and my step is yet to come afar. And before I could tell it's a long journey. And thank you for the opportunity given. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shakila. It was a
Thank you,
wonderful
sir.
speech. You took us to your Toastmasters I Speaker speech.
Thank you, sir.
So now, a timer, Toastmaster Arij, are we good with the time? Okay, let us
I think
take
we can
one
have
more.
one more.
Okay, thank you so much. Who is our next speaker, please?
We have 3 people already raised, but I think Faria raised her hand first.
Okay.
So Faria, Varmeet, and Ram was also waiting.
Toastmaster Faria.
Hi, good evening.
Here are some pictures that talk about, of course, by this time you all realize this is about one of the pathways. So which picture would you like to choose?
I think I'd like to choose the first one on the bottom row.
Okay, so this picture, can you please guess what's happening with this picture?
I think we're being brave about all the obstacles that we face.
Let us see. There you go. Very nice. The topic is the way I manage my difficult clients.
All right. Okay. Thanks a lot, Table Topic Master. The way I manage my difficult clients. So since I am a teacher, my clients are basically the parents of my students. I wouldn't say my students are my clients because they're KG children. So the best way to handle the parents of KG children, the difficult clients, I would say, my strategy has always been to be respectful. And as they say, the customer is always right. So I have been adopting that. Usually, I listen to their problems and I say, yes, you're right. Maybe this is the problem and we will fix these problems. Usually they talk about how their kids have some problem while writing or whatever. So the best thing that has to be done is to first listen to the problems of what they are facing and then react and tell the solutions. That's the way you deal with clients. Always be respectful, listen to what they're saying, listen to what they need, and then act upon. Never ever judge what they are saying. Never say, no, you're wrong. That is the worst way to handle any client or any person, human. You should never say to their face, no, you're wrong. The best way is to first listen, analyze what they said. If you feel they're wrong, maybe explain it to them in a better manner than to just say outright no. That's the way to manage difficult clients. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Faria. You have really given the recipe for handling difficult people or clients or anybody in our house or in office, everywhere. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I would like to end this table topic session because we are on the time. With this, thank you so much, everybody. I would like to hand over the floor to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Anwar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shyam. The number of times you are doing this role, you are really getting better and you are excelling in this. You are setting other, new standards for us. Thank you, Shyam. Timer, can you please inform us if all the speakers have qualified?
Okay. Unfortunately, not all speakers are qualified. Toastmasters Hussein took 1 minute. Toastmasters Bardania took 1 minute 40 seconds. Toastmaster Shakila took 2 minutes 50 seconds. She's out of time. And Toastmaster Fariha, she took 1 minute 42 seconds. So it's Toastmaster Hussein, Baratia, and Fariha.
Thank you, timer. Host, are we ready for the poll or should we do it later on?
We're ready.
Okay, you may launch the poll, please. We'll take 25 seconds to get done with the votings. Perfect. We have closed the poll. With this, we are set to move on to our third segment. But before that, let me take some time to share with you something related to my path, what I face, the obstacles. Now, again, what is on top is to reflect for myself, and that has nothing to do with what I'm going to talk about. So this is not an obstacle what I really faced with my path. I think this is something which we all face. What is the first obstacle which I faced was speech slot availability. Now this is something practical which we all go through, isn't it? The second thing, some projects need more time. And finally, one of the key obstacle which I faced is panel discussion, HPL projects, etc., which required a longer time slot and also a lot of, the opportunity. Where can I use this opportunity at? So for this, how I overcome is, this is something which I would like to share with you today. For the first one, what I did is I explored outside home clubs. I also did one of my project at my office. So this is something which I would, encourage you all. Once you have your speeches ready, don't hold it back. Get a speech slot and try to get it done at the earliest. The second thing, which I gave you a very good example of Suraya, and I showcased to you what I did. I did not wait for me to complete my level 4 to come to level 5 and submit. When I got done with certain projects which were taking longer time, I moved on. So don't get stuck with a project which is taking more time. Try to do multiple projects at the same time. For instance, if you have a blog or something which is part of a project, you don't have to wait for a month to finish the project. Simultaneously start a next project. The last thing is be innovative. For instance, I had a lot of projects where I had to do lessons learned in my level 5. And there were other projects like a panel discussion. Now, it's not always possible to accommodate in a club meeting. So what I did was I came up with a special segment or a special meeting. So this is something where you can be innovative. And the other thing, when you have such projects in hand, you can always reach out to your area director, VP Education first, area director, district, and tell them you are willing to take up some roles so that you can do these projects. Now, let's move on to the last segment for today, which is the evaluation and report, for which I would like to call upon our general evaluator to lead this segment, who is none other than Toastmaster Farisa Hassan. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening once again. Let me call my first evaluator. I would now like to call Toastmaster June to evaluate the award speech given by Toastmaster Hari. Thank you. Over to you.
Can I please explain the time first?
Oh, yes, please.
Thank you so much. So each evaluator will have 2 to 3 minutes. When you reach the minimum time, which is 2 minutes, you will see the green background. The 2.5 minutes, the yellow background, and 3 minutes, the red background. And after that, you will have 30 seconds to wrap up your speech. And back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, timer. Let me invite Toastmaster June. Please present her evaluation.
General Evaluator, and ladies and gentlemen. It was a privilege to listen to Toastmaster Hari give a speech on our club receiving the Golden Gavel Award for the year. Thank you, Toastmaster Hari. You made us all really happy by that. So how I'm going to go about my evaluation is I will first give Toastmaster Hari 2 points in which he excelled at, and then 2 points on which I would suggest improvement. So first of all, Toastmaster Hari, let me tell you that you have met all your objectives for delivering a social speech to honor an award. So you started off by telling us what the award was. Then you went on and you explained and you highlight, which was the Golden Gavel Award, of course. Then you went on to explain and you highlighted all the awards that our club won throughout the entire year in order to achieve this award, which was really great. And you even had it on your screen, which was excellent. Then by doing that, Toastmaster Hari, you made us all so happy. We were all so happy just listening to you, to your speech and the achievements of our club, which brings me to my next point, which is the award that you chose to, that you selected to speak on was relatable to the audience. It was relatable to our members of Desert Pioneers. And like Toastmaster Anwar said, you took us all down memory lane, and you, like I said again, you made us all so very happy. So these were the 2 points, Toastmaster Hari, that I thought that you excelled at. So having said that, we all come to Toastmasters to learn and to grow and to improve ourselves. So with that, Toastmaster Hari, I have 2 points of improvement, which I think that you could, that could help you maybe to enhance your speeches in the future. The first point is, Toastmaster Hari, that since you were presenting an award, a speech for an award, I felt that maybe you could have been a little bit more enthusiastic, especially since you were, since you were giving an award or facilitating an award, just to create the hype and the energy and to, make the audience more engaging. And the second point, Toastmaster Hari, is that you did stand up while speaking, which was great. But throughout the speech, I observed that mostly your hands were like this or like that. So I suggest that you could have been a little bit more expressive with your hand usage. It would have been a little bit more in concept, especially with the speech that you delivered. Also, they say that when you open your hands to the audience, it's more welcoming. So in summary, Toastmaster Hari, 2 points which you excelled at was you met all your objectives and you chose an award which was relatable to all of us. 2 points that I think you could work on is a little bit more enthusiasm and maybe to use your hands a little bit more expressively. On the whole, Toastmaster Hari, you did an excellent job and all the best to you for your future speeches.
Thank you, Toastmaster June, for the excellent evaluation. Moving on with our next evaluator, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Freddy to evaluate the untapped speech by Toastmaster Shazia. Toastmaster Freddy, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Toastmaster Shazia Tabassum. Her flamboyancy is beyond compare. Do you believe in that? So my target speaker, Toastmaster Shazia, Toastmaster of the day, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It seems it's been ages that I didn't perform an evaluation speech, and I'm happy to be part of this day and a program to be with Shazia. She started by saying noises inside my head was a better idea, but it never came in after the Toastmaster when she joined. Let this positive flamboyancy regain all our strength. Let this positive message echo into this meeting and beyond. And let this positive message could make us, our personality, be in a positive way. When she talked about every time she speaks in or during the speech delivery, she understood many things like writing up motivational speeches and all the projects. And needless to say, the face modulation and her favorite active listening, I'm looking at it, and handling difficult audience. I think you have observed she spoke spontaneously, sincerely, surely, simply, and synonymously. Super flamboyant speaker. And she speaks as clear as the COVID virus, infecting us flamboyantly. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot say anything but have my applause. Let us give our props to our flamboyant Shahzad Tabasum. And I do hope you could do more. I can't say anything except for one thing only I could say. The time that you have given us, I felt it's incomplete because you have only 7 minutes and I was expecting 3 more minutes, and that could make us all inspired from time to time. All in all, congratulations and have a great time making us inspired all the time. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Freddy, for your excellent evaluation. Moving on with our next evaluator, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sana to evaluate the creativity code speech by Toastmaster Suraya. Over to you, Toastmaster Sana.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, General Evaluator. Greetings to all my creative humans and a special evening to the code breaker in this room, Toastmaster Suraya. First of all, congratulations on executing a project this big successfully. Your flamboyant presence is always a pleasure to have on stage. Creativity is intelligence having fun. And I think everyone in this room needs to agree with me on this. Toastmaster Suraya, you talked about creativity intelligently. You talked about intelligence and related subjects creatively. You talked about both in a very balanced manner, and that was amazing. You had loads of codes to help us get a crack on how to break our block of creativity, and I loved it. I'd like to highlight some of the points in your speech that just made me go crazy for you. One was your amazing presentation skills. I loved your presentation. Your presentation was almost a secondary superhero to the show today, obviously you being the first. But the colorful color scheme, the fonts, the illustrations, it was so eye-pleasing, and it's what made the audience glue their eyes to your speech. Another thing was adequate or sufficient provision of information and stats. Sometimes when people are giving presentations, they go overboard. They fill it up with loads of information. And then it just looks like a textbook. And trust me, nobody ever looks at a textbook in a loving manner. But you, Toastmaster Suraya, you had good amount of information, good amount of pictures, good amount of graphs and statistics. And it was all normal. It was all at a normal pace. We all could digest all that information. And I loved that about you, about your speech. Creativity is contagious, so let's pass it on. That's what Albert Einstein said. But Toastmaster Suraya, let me help you pass on this creative message that you had in a better way. You had eye contact, you had great hand gestures, you had great voice modulation as well. But I felt as though sometimes you kept fading out at the end of your sentence. Sometimes I could miss 1 or 2 words at the end of your sentence, and that to the audience means half the message received. Point number 2 is lack of time management. You were amazing at delivering all your messages and all the information, but you failed at conducting a successful Q&A session, which is what your project revolves around. So my suggestion is that try practicing your speech enough to know what pace you want to speak on, and try timing yourself so you know what time you end your speech, what time you want to have a certain segment of your speech at. That's it. Overall, great speech, amazing hack at cracking the code. I loved the quote about perfection, practicing making a man perfect, but repetition making a man creative. Love the intel about brain elasticity. If you work on the tiny trouble areas of your speech, I think you're going to rock your future speeches amazingly. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sana, for the evaluation. And now, timer, I would like to know, have all the evaluators qualified?
For the third time, I have to say, unfortunately, not all evaluators are qualified, because Toastmasters June, she took 3 minutes, 40 seconds, so she's out of time. And Toastmasters Freddy, 2 minutes, 42 seconds. Toastmaster Sana, 3 minutes, 19 seconds. So voting will be with Toastmaster Freddy and Sana. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, timer. We already have the votes for the best evaluator. It's on the screen. Can you guys quickly put your votes in? I'd like to call the other role players next. I'd like to invite our grammarian Toastmaster Amrit Bukardin to present his report.
Can I know the time before Amrit? Or Amrit, can you tell me your time? Can I know the time for the grammarian? Or you have open time?
No, it's
I think today especially we have open time for Amrit, right?
That's what I would request General Evaluator to evaluate me after the other evaluators like R counter, and can you keep it towards the end?
Okay, so I will call the R counter next. So let's put the grammarian on the hold, and I would like to call our R counter, that is Toastmaster Mohammed Shiraz, to give his reports first.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I was the accountant for today's meeting, and I noticed that many very good speakers used as, us, ums. I usually see zero as, us, ums in these speakers in their prepared speeches. Anyway, it's our learning point. We can learn and we can improve ourselves. So I noticed Anwar, our TMOD, from beginning till end, he was speaking and he was the longest speaker. However, he spoke only, he had only 10 as, us, ums. Toastmaster Hari, he had 6 as, us, ums. Toastmaster Shazia, she had 10 as, us, ums. Toastmaster Surya, I love her because I love her the eager to learn, and she has counted herself how many as used by her. She said that she has used 4. It was great. Toastmaster Sham, he has used 7 times as, us, ums. Toastmaster June, she has used 6 times. Toastmaster Sana, 2 times. And our general evaluator, I noticed 3 times as, us, ums. Did I miss anyone? Of course, I noticed that our timer, DTM Arij, and our moderator, DTM Alan, used ask us 2 times each. And the best, I noticed Toastmaster Freddy, 0 ask us Please give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Freddy. And with that, my report is over. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiraz. Lastly, can we have the grammarians report by Toastmaster Amrit?
Thank you, General Evaluator. I was so much enthusiastic, to introduce the grammarian challenge, but I was kind of digging on my own grave. I know that. It's so difficult, listening to all of you making their word of the day and everything. So let me just quickly go through. We had a very good usages throughout the meeting today. So I'll quickly run through our grammarian challenge today. Yes. So the word of the day was flamboyant, and we had the first tool as anaphora. Okay. So anaphora, Toastmaster Faria used in a very good way. She explained about listen to what they say, listen to what they feel, listen to all their emotions. So that was nicely done. And Toastmaster Shazia, you almost reached it. Like this world, give me this world, and you just used it twice. So one more time, this world, you could have won that. And we had Toastmaster Sana, who was also using good amount. Like you had good amount of information, good amount of pictures, good amount. So she used good amount as an anaphora. And she also used you had as an anaphora. Now, alliteration. We have Toastmaster Freddy using alliteration in a very good way, mentioning about Toastmaster Shazia. He mentioned about sincerely, synonymously, sensitively. So all those repetition of the word S made him qualified. Now, hyperbole was the favorite, I guess, for everyone. For Suraya, she mentioned about story larger than this room. Hunting for food. That was more on a humorous way. And ocean of knowledge. It's been ages, Toastmaster Shazia. And Toastmaster Freddy, sorry, he mentioned it's been ages doing an evaluation. Now, coming to simile and metaphors, I'm sorry, and yes. We had, your energy was like COVID virus. Toastmaster Freddy mentioning about Shazia. And Toastmaster Sana mentioned about the presentation did by Toastmaster Suraya. Like the presentation was like the superhero of the meeting. So those were the similes. And we had our guest, table topic speaker, mentioning about her Toastmaster journey like a tiny toad crawling to the land. Wow, I was amazed with that. Good job, guest Shakila. We had a lot of idioms and phrases today. Bigger than life, larger than life by Toastmaster Suraya. Dive your head into Toastmaster Suraya. And noises in my head by Shazia. Dive into a new subject. Ideas flowing through my head. Throw my weight around by Shazia. These were all by Shazia. So great job, everyone. Now the winner, our president will be announcing the winner. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amrit. That was an amazing report. You are definitely going to be in demand as a grammarian for the coming meetings. That was wonderful challenge. I loved it. Couldn't really fulfill it, but I did love it. Now, lastly, with my few comments that I have on the meeting in general, I'd like to share my screen for that. And Just a second. Sorry for the delay. Okay, so this is my general evaluation report from the beginning of the meeting. Before opening the meeting, you had music and agenda, but not for long. That was for a very short while. And it had to be taken off very quickly because the members wanted to interact with each other. So I think you can put an agenda there or maybe put that in the chat for later on so that the members or the guests who come in or join in later can see it. Did you adopt the agenda in the beginning? The president could ask the VP education if there were any changes in the agenda, and that could have, or even if not, you could still just adopt the agenda using the parliamentary way. The guests were welcomed. They felt very comfortable. They were happy. You had a good interaction, a very good energy to start with. You started exactly on time. The role players were introduced very nicely. You should, yeah, like I said, you should have added the agenda in the chat. Like you added, you shared so many other links by the grammarian, and there was virtual background links shared. So, I mean, this can also be shared so that people know what's going on. Just a suggestion. Moving on now with my next part is the TMOD role. That was really well, full of energy. He explained the theme well, introduced the role players on time. They used the feedback time. He used the feedback time to get the other members ready. That was really good. But I felt he could have emphasized more on giving feedback for the speakers, because that's also very important. The speakers need feedbacks. And I think in online meetings, we don't really know how many feedbacks we get. Usually they don't, not everybody gives feedbacks. And especially if you're talking and getting others ready, I think that's a distraction there, because they're mostly listening to you and not giving their feedbacks to the speakers. So that's one thing I think area of improvement. Table topics was great, but it started late. You were 15 minutes late when you started your table topic session. The topics were great. You explained the table topics. It was fun. It was simple. Everybody enjoyed it. You asked for the timer to be pinned. Not always. You forgot once, but then you did. But it was nice because the timer knew her job. She made sure that she gave everybody their time segments of how much, what their time segments was. So that was great. It's good thing if you ask the members to raise their hands rather than just who wants to participate, and then the others will tell you who is it that they are, who's raising hands, but you should have suggested that to them. So it was a fun session. I loved it. I can say it was connected. It was very colorful, your slides, amazing questions. That was all perfectly done. Lastly, my general comments. Your meeting was informative because you spoke about the pathways. That was great. The energy was good, but the sessions took too long. Like, we are late. We are not on time right now. You took a long time for the prepared speeches section. So from that's when you started lagging behind on time. And the timer did not mention this when they asked for the timer to give if they have more time. She did not mention that you were running late, but I guess that was with each, how much time was allotted for each session. She was going with that, I guess. So, but she did mention, she even reminded me that I had to ask the timer for the time before I started my evaluation section. So that was a help. Thank you. The evaluators need to evaluate the speech of the speakers, not just the speaker. What I mean by that is, it would be nice when you talk about, like, I think the person could have said it this way or presented it this way, rather than just directly speaking to the speaker, like, you should have done this better or you could have done this better. If you speak in general, so that shows that you're evaluating the speech and not just the speaker. Last suggestion I think I have is you all could share a same virtual background, because I saw there was a link shared in the chat room for somebody who wants to. So if this would have been done before the meeting, it would have been great. You would have all had same backgrounds and it would have been more vibrant. So just a suggestion again. But overall, amazing meeting. I loved it, enjoyed it, informative, and kudos to all. Thank you. Back to you, President.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for those valuable comments. Since she's already penalized us, the General Evaluator already penalized us for being late, now we can take rest of the time for to go on. I would quickly, since we are running out of time, I'll just quickly share something with you, which I felt was important part of my journey, which was reflection on my path. We won't be going into the detail, but what I really want to emphasize or give the idea to you is start filling your buckets. And I don't want you to, each one of you, to wait for your path completion. Put out your list there. What are the experience you want to learn from here? Skills, what you want to learn, what you want to develop, and what are the achievements you want to have. To give you one example each, I would say handling pressure. This was something which I really experienced. I took up the role, part of my project in level 5, where I had taken up a lessons learned project where I did the district event judges training. The last minute we got notified that the judges who were supposed to come for the event from Bahrain was unable. So it was a tough situation how to manage it. But I think it was a good experience and I had a lot of learning. And likewise, the skills, what I really learned here was about the public speaking, the leadership, which really pushed me to take up a president role, which I'm leading now. The skills which I developed was, of course, on my presentation, on my management skills, and achievements. One key achievement which I would like to really call upon is I being a role model for my kids. Now, this is something very important. Why I would tell you, like, I have 2 kids, and when I started talking, I started presenting, I started giving speech, I became confident. Now I'm, I can literally tell my kids, go for it, do, your speeches, talk up, speak up. Mostly, we ask our kids to do, but we don't set examples. So this was a great platform for me, at least to showcase that. As a conclusion, I would say my last message to you is, again, fill your buckets. Divide it and try to put in what you need to achieve throughout your journey. Last not the least, what I would like to really emphasize is your timeline. I'm sorry I'm sharing some names here, but it's with utmost pain that it would be taken in good spirit. Just to give you an idea, Sairam actually level 3 to level 4, he have taken 164 days. And after his completion of level 4, he has taken 76 days till now. He's not completed his level 5. And just to give you another example would be, Shiraz, he's in level 2, and Shiraz, again, a very important role. As a VP education, it's very important. You do your leadership roles, but you fail to, we fail in our responsibilities. So plan your levels, put your timelines. Arish has been doing multiple levels, multiple paths. So we need to take classes, how she's managing it. But this was a timeline, what she took from each level. Moving on to Amrit, he finished one path. To another path, he took 89 days, which is reasonable. And today he's 30 days away from his last project. So hopefully he have to take action. And Hari has been taking too long to get to his level 3, which hopefully he will get soon. And June, she has taken 228 days to complete her level 1. Very, catching up to my record. But she's made her, projects in level 2 and hoping to complete. And Sham, he just started, as I mentioned, he's 149 days in Toastmasters and not completed the level. Now, these are just indicators. This numbers does not mean anything. The only relevance point is I want to emphasize, when you come to reflect on your path, it's not just the buckets, but also how well and how you timed, because this shows how well you manage, how well you learn the art of planning and reached your goals. Again, that is just a reminder for me. And for you all, my closing notes are, Where are you in your journey? Where is your timeline? What buckets are you filling? Thank you for bearing with me. Over to you, Club President, Toastmaster Saira.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anwar. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed the meeting. What a flamboyant meeting. Starts from prepared speech section, followed by table topic session, evaluation section, and beautifully evaluated by our general evaluator. Everything is flamboyant, excellent, and thank you so much. Thanks to everyone, each and every role player who given their best to run this meeting successfully. Without any further delay, I would like to introduce the winners of today's meeting. But as I mentioned in the last meeting, we have introduced one more one more section category, that is Best Role Player Award. So I would like to, I request our moderator, DTM Ellen, could you please release the poll of Best Role Player? Here we go.
I'm sorry, but the poll is missing one person, Toastmaster Shyam, the table topic master.
Yeah. Can we, yes, moderator, can we re-release the poll?
We will have that. Until then, we can proceed with the rest of the things.
Okay, done. Yeah. I think I can see some of our non-Toastmaster guests. Toastmaster Hussein. Toastmaster Hussein, are you there?
Yes, just a second, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, Toastmaster Hussein. How did you feel the meeting? How did you know about our club, Desert Pioneers Toastmasters Club? Could you please introduce?
Yeah. Actually, I knew about this from Miss Hanan. She actually was also the one who informed me about the previous meeting where she was the Toastmaster. I also talked to her and told me that there was also a meeting today, so I came here. Quite frankly, I enjoyed it. It was very nice.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Hussein. Thank you so much for the words.
Thank you very much.
I could see another Toastmaster, non-Toastmaster guest, Toastmaster Shahzir.
Hi, Sairam.
How did you feel the meeting?
The meeting was good. I would like to thank Alan for introducing me here. I've heard of Toastmasters from one of my colleagues. So it's good to be here, and I think this is very important. The public speaking skills is very important, and this is a good tool, good platform where you could do it better. So glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shahzir. Thank you so much for the wonderful words. Yeah, here we have the poll for best role player. We have another Toastmaster guest, Toastmaster Humbly. I think Toastmaster Humbly is not here with us. Okay, Toastmaster Faiza Thakur, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Good evening. Good evening, one and all. It's a privilege to be a guest in Desert Pioneer Toastmasters Club. I always, you people always inspire other clubs in this district and overall. So it's like you are some role, there are some role models which are really, inspire other Toastmasters like DTM, Alan, be it TM Amrit, our president, club director. So there are others also, Hanan, and we have Sana. You have really great speakers, Suraya, who I heard today. So you people really inspire. Yes, I forgot to say Anwar. So these are some speakers who inspire other Toastmasters. And it's great to be here as a guest and hear you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Faiza. Thank you so much. I hope all of you can join our club soon. And Toastmaster Hanan, please be in touch with them and grab their names into our. I want them to be the members of our club. Here we go. Now, it's time to announce the winners. Moderator, will you please allow me to share the screen?
Yes, you can share your screen.
Yeah, here we go. Best table topic award goes to, any guess? Drum rolls, please. Toastmaster Faraya Fatima.
We can unmute ourselves now, right?
Yay! Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations.
Congrats,
Thank
Farina.
you.
Next, best table topic award goes to, any guess?
Table topics is just over.
Oh,
I think it is Faraya.
okay.
Technical glitches.
The best evaluator award goes to, Toastmaster Sana Yusuf.
Congratulations, Sana.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Small.
Best speech.
Best speaker.
No best speech.
Everyone is best people.
I will not announce it today.
Best role player award goes to,
Ooh.
Toastmaster Sham.
Oh, that's true.
Now, the final one. The best speaker award goes to, anybody see from the same screen?
You can actually make drum roll sounds.
Toastmaster Surya Fatima. Yes. I hope everybody enjoyed the meeting today. Thank you all once again, each and every role player, for giving your best. As I said, usually we conduct our meetings on every second and fourth Tuesday of every month. And for this time, we are going to have a special meeting on 2nd of August, which is the marathon, speech marathon. which is on 2nd of August. I request all of you to come and join us and enjoy the speech marathon.
Sai, we can't see the post.
Not yet shared. Can you see the screen?
Okay, let's share it again.
Now?
Yay!
The speech marathon is on 2nd of August, so I request all of you to join us and enjoy the variety of the speakers. So with this, we ended up our meeting for today, and the meeting is now officially adjourned.
Yay.
Thank you all of you.
Anwar, what is the pose you'd like us to do for the group photo?
Let's do this same thing.
Somebody tell us.
Running.
Dynamic.
Or like what was it like this?
Guys, you need to delete that picture of mine.
Everyone, slap yourself against the wall.
Who's going to take the photo? No, this one.
They're being dynamic.
Wait, who's taking the picture?
Yeah, okay, that one. This one, right? Anwar's pose. Who is taking the photo? Do I need to take the photo?
Alina, it still looks like your pose.
Show me the photo again.
I'm still posing. I'm still in pose, by the way.
Okay, guys, pose. I want to take the picture.
Anwar, do your pose.
Hambali. You, everybody do the pose. Anwar, your pose. That's not the pose.
Okay, hurry up, guys. Seriously.
Done.
Okay, thank God.
We like to hear from Hambali. You were a member of Desert Pioneers before, I guess, right? Yes. We love to hear from you.
I think everyone has changed since.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to take a leave. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Lisa.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Toastmasters Faiza.
Guys,
I'm still accepting questions.
Yes, we're waiting to hear from you, Hambali.
Is he not here? What happened?
I think he's frozen.
Oh, hello.
His audio